Whatever the fuck's on my mind, I put out the same way as that blood the titty bitch gets when she has a goddamn motherfucking period. Good evening, welcome to another Piss for You from 100 News Report slash the Think Tank and the midnight, the morning, your wee hour, and your motherfucking tea hour, sex hour, jock hour, the fuck hour you got. This is going to be a news report of this week, and it's not about goodwill this time. It's going to be a little different. It's going to be about this man that I tried to do a video on by the name of Gorgeous George. I've been trying to get in contact with this man 3 motherfucking times, and the man refused to respond. Now, when I did my first video, he sent me an email saying that that he wanted me to disable the comments under my own video because he felt that he was getting he felt that the so-called trolls were getting riled up where that they were going to get after him. And then he told me that that he has what I was going to say. He told me that you have my permission to keep the video up as long as you remove the comments. Then a few days later, he sends me a private messaging system. He sends me a private messaging email, I'm trying to say, and tells me different. Now he wants me to remove the video altogether, and he talks about he thought about it and shit, and I'm gonna read the whole motherfucking email. And this is the last email that he sent me, and this is a week ago. Now for the past week I've been trying to get in contact with this Gorgeous George fella. I haven't got squat from the man. And he did all these videos ranting about people trolling, calling his number and all this shit. He did all this talk. And I wanted to hear more in private email. I wanted to interview him in private email because a lot of it interested me, because some of the stuff that he went through, I went through on behalf of my channel because of some videos I've done about a video game store that I used to be a customer at and now banned from 2 years ago. And it's not just because of that. It is other things too. But that's one of the reasons that I had an interest in dealing with wanting to deal with this man, just for the interest of things and knowledge. So I'm going to read the email here. I'm going to apologize for the picture quality of this video as far as looking at this message, but I'm going to read it for you. I apologize. It begins with this. Hey, this is George. I appreciate the effort, but I need you to take the video down. These people are going to keep it up. Like I said, in a perfect world, what you did would be great contribution to my work. Unfortunately, these people will stop at nothing to continue this banter. So again, I'm going to ask you kindly to remove the video altogether. I thought it about, and this gives them what they want. I don't want to give you a strike on your channel. So I'm going to ask you kindly to remove the video altogether. If you like, I will get you on one of my radio shows for being a fan. No, for being fan. And for the attempt effort on your part. Just unfortunately, this isn't going to fly being on here, because it's driving them out in droves like bees. So Kylie, please remove it, and I will get you on one of my radio shows in the future. Thanks. This is the motherfucker that sent me the goddamn motherfucking message. And he the fuck told me and the video that I had that I could keep it up as long as I took away the ability of people commenting. Now he tells me different. He thought about it and he said if I did videos on YouTube, it would give them what they want. Well, the last time I checked, um, I thought it was you that was giving them what they want, not me. I'm not the one that made the Gorgeous George show. And you kindly threatened me, not nasty, but kindly made a threat saying I don't want to put a straight on your channel. I'm going to tell you something, buddy. If you ever think of putting a strike on this channel because of this video here, you're going to have a problem with me. I'm Piss 4400 and you're not dealing with a typical motherfucker. You're dealing with a fucker that is persistent, that people are sick and tired of. That's why I was kicked out of 3 locations where I live. And on top of, and it's not so much of that, it's because you don't know the fuck me. And so there are going to be some problems if you're going to hold this video against me and reporting it to YouTube, because there's nothing here that you can do and say, because what I'm doing is my freedom of speech. It's my prerogative, and I can do whatever the fuck I want, just like you can do whatever the fuck you want in your little radio station. I've seen how you perform, and I'm not talking skits. I'm talking ridiculously responding to every little stupid, pity, witty, titty bit of one of these stupid, fat attacks. When people call you fat, when people call you this man that don't have nothing going. And for the people at home that are listening and watching, I'm going to do a part 1 of the Gorgeous George man, the Gorgeous George show, and the part 2. Actually, I think part 1 would be more about Gorgeous George, and part 2 is going to be about the Gorgeous George show. The Gorgeous George show, I want to focus more in part 2 on the values and the point of what the show brings. There are some positives and negatives, but there's going to be a little more negative to the show. And then for part 1, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to be very little positive, but a lot of negative on George's part, because in performance, you go out to the TV, your public access show, and you say you're going for the public, but then yet when the public produce their exhaust system back to your face, you have a problem with it. And everything, whether if it's plants, flowers, and your lovely vocabulary term that you like to use, semen, or anything, has to have its own exhaust. Anything that produces cool air produces heat. Anything that produces heat obviously will produce heat from the other end, which is the butt end, as you would put in your vocabulary. So, what is the point of me speaking these things? I'm saying that in everything that you do, whether if it's public or something, a medication or surgery, you're going to have some kind of an effect around your surroundings and your environment or even your body. So everything has a side effect. You cannot go, there is nothing that any of us have done that we ever got over or even never went through a side effect. Everything that we do in our lives has side effects, and unfortunately, George, when you do your radio shows, when you do your public access shows, you're going to get a side effect of how people are looking at your show. What if it sucks? Or what if it doesn't suck? I'm speaking the GDMFT goddamn motherfucking truth. It's nice in a perfect world. I do agree with you on one part in the email. I'm going to find the part that I agree on. It says, in a perfect world, what you did would be great contribution to my work. Well, I wouldn't say contribution to my work. I would say a great contribution, period, to, in a way that um, it's not just so much your work, it's anything. Well, if someone disagrees with your work or not, it's anything, man. If you run, I mean, let me tell you something. If you want to run for office and you are acting the way you're acting, as far as the way you react to these little childish prankers that be doing these shits to you, I'm not going to name them by names. If you're going to react to these fuckers, you're not going to be much of a good governor or president or anything else. Because, man, every successor must have some sort of a negative. Just like a battery must have a negative port or access to get its shit done. We all have a negative and positive balance. My God, you would think your little friend that you had back in 1999, Sarah West, might have taught you that shit. In fact, there was a part of that clip where she tried to convince you not to focus much on the folks that were calling you fat and all this shit. But unfortunately, you kind of tossed her on the side of the commode and was just fixing up your little titty hair. And I don't know if that's hair or that's just a dead skunk that he's wearing on his head to cover something, to cover his baldness or something. I don't know. It looked like a skunk. It looked like a skunk. His hair looked like a skunk's tail. That's what it looks like. It looked like a skunk's tail. Unfortunately, it does. And the little white on the middle. I said, "What the fuck? How the rest of your hair can be black, and then this little white chunk got on there like I don't know if it's a Frankenstein look or some kind of a dead skunk he's wearing on his head." Something like he's wearing a dead skunk. Oh, I digress. Anyway, getting back to being serious here. Part one is going to talk more. It's going to talk about the Gorgeous George show, mostly George, and a little about the Gorgeous George show and my intake of it. Part two, see the hand here, hand gesture here. It's going to be more in depth of the show, even much more so, and a little more lengthy in depth, because it's time for a change. It's time for fresh air, and this is not no attack to no Gorgeous George or to no one else, but I think everybody, including Mr. George himself, can learn to get better. I think we all can learn how to get better. And let me tell you something. You pay more attention to these trolls than you do with me, and I am not a troll. But you see, you focus on these guys because you seem to have a low self-esteem in such a way that one little thing out of them, whether if it's a video review of something that you've done recently or not, it drives you nuts. on end. These people don't say anything that this video belongs to them. Obviously, I have some questions to ask. I want to know what's up with your that woman you had on your radio show back in July by the name of Tori Baker. I want to know what's up with that. And I want to know what's up on that other radio show you had a year ago, August of 2014, where you had some dude from a European country, and he was talking about Sean and some other people. And I actually met Sean a few days ago, and he emailed me. Well, he emailed me, and he actually did a video response on my of that video I once had of you on my channel, the one that you wanted me to take off, and made a big deal out of it like I was doing something bad. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I got principles. I have very strong principles, and you may take these other people's videos off, and they may be redoing new channels. But I'm telling you right now, if you even think of taking this video off, you're gonna have some problems. You are gonna have some problems because I'm gonna tell you. And I thought I had to deal with somebody else that was similar to your ass. I thought I had to deal with a person by the name of William Lacey, which is off topic. But he was someone that I met at Goodwill, which he was a customer at Goodwill, and he goes there so much, and I had to deal with him in a way it's quite similar to dealing with you properly in the future. But I come to find that you're just as worse than he is. Every 24/7, you probably be like a eagle and watch every little thing that goes on YouTube. I mean, you say you have a life, but I said, well, if you have a life, why you don't let this other stuff go? I mean, you do a good job on the phones, but not on the internet, my friend. And that is your downfall. My mom would teach me and always said, in general, some people are their own worst enemies and don't even know it. And no matter how much you try to help them, no matter how much you try to espouse to them, they just won't get it in through their heads or listen. In fact, the Bible says that people go to hell due to the lack of knowledge. And they were referring to the gospel, but it also referred to people having a lack of knowledge of things. And stupidity comes along. And I see it in performance regarding this George fella. I did a lot of studying, and I could back up most of the things that I have looked at and studied. There was a channel that somebody had. It was a strange channel too. He had all these videos that he critiqued from your channel, and he put it on his channel or her channel, whatever it is. I don't know if it was a man or a woman or whatever. And then you flagged some of them videos down. And the next thing I knew, when I try to look this channel up, the person or the owner closed it down. I said, "Oh, close that channel down." That was like Sunday. So, instead of you worrying about these ignorant bastards, you could have just responded to me, to a person that had seen a little potential of your so-called show and your work. Only if you had the mind to listen, that is. And the only reason why that your show is not really good is because the lack of knowledge of listening. That's all the fuck I have to say. May I say more? Hell no. But I want to let people know that I'm not a fan of Gigi. I've seen his videos before. What really got me into doing review of this man, or wanted to do review of this man, is the videos he done in the past regarding the things he went through, quite similar to what I went through. And overall, he reminds me more of myself, not because of the things he went through. It's more because of successes and unsuccesses on things. And I see a lot of unsuccesses, unfortunately, on this man, and it's sort of related to me that I don't want to walk into that path into. And so I hope that my review 1 and review 2, I don't know if I'm going to do any other reviews, but let's see what the man, how he reacts. I don't give a shit how George reacts. He just better not remove this video, because I'm going to have a problem with it. And I swear that this video belongs to Piss 4400. I'll make a disclaimer so he don't get no ideas. This video belongs to Piss 4400. You see, this is not Gorgeous George's room. This is my room. You're not a Sonic the Hedgehog person, are you? And you're not a Mario person, are you? Oh, I got this Jurassic Park figure from Goodwill. You're not Jurassic Park, aren't you? And you don't have a toy. He's not. You don't have a hobby grade Piper Cub plane, do you? And you don't have a photo of Charles Miles Manson, do you, on your wall, motherfucker? So you better not start any stuff. That's all I have to say. I'm Piss 4400. This is Piss 4400's Think Tank. Whatever the fuck's on my mind, I put out the same way as that blood your titty bitch gets when she has a goddamn motherfucking period. Stay tuned for news reports in the future. Whether if it's GG news or any other news in the goddamn scene. Diamonds are forever, baby. And so is Gorgeous George. I see y'all goddamn motherfucking later.